Thank you for coming back to Soon 73 Tai Chi here on the Indian River Lagoon today. We'll be covering a familiar movement, move number 27 and 28, which is to breathe in and open the hands and breathe out to close the hands. We'll be adding that into our form. But today, we're going to be talking about the biomechanics of what it means to breathe in a healthy way. So we'll be getting into the nitty-gritty of breathing as we continue on through Soon 73 and explore the open and close movement. Each time we come to it from now on, we'll be exploring another aspect of breathing that can help to deepen our level of practice. Let's go through what we currently have in our form, all of Section 1 and the beginning of Section 2, starting by getting oriented to our new space, facing our beautiful river, knowing where our 12 o'clock is, where our 1:30, about where the right toes are pointing, 3 o'clock, 4:30, 6 o'clock is directly behind, 7:30, 9 o'clock out to the side, 10:30 is about where the left toes are pointing. As we begin in Wuji stance, relaxing with knees bent, a light lift in the pelvic floor. Teeth together, tip of the tongue on the roof of the mouth to facilitate a full, deep belly breath, which we'll be discussing more after we go through the flow of our first 28 moves. Beginning now, our attention directs to 10:30. We stand on the left foot, noticing the weight there, allowing the right toes to point to 12, centering the weight again. Facing 10:30, the hands arrive in balance with each other. They come in towards the belly as we sink the weight to the right foot, finding our balance before floating out the left foot to 10:30. Once that foot is flat, the hands rise. The right foot does a follow step, turning to about 1:30 while the right palm turns up. Shifting the weight, we pick up the left toes, making contact with the right hand, pivoting in our flow to face about 3 o'clock, stepping to 3 with an uprooting push at the end of leisurely Tai code, adjusting the left foot and the right foot to shoulder width facing 12. For move number 3, to breathe in and allow the hands to open. Move 4, breathing out, allowing the hands to close. Single whip left, rooting into the right foot. The left foot floats out to the front and left. Open hand push to 12. Turning the waist opens the right hand till we're facing about 1:30. Then we come back to facing 12, touching the right toes with no rate. Right fingers are down until the palm turns to face 12, stepping down on the right heel. The left foot comes in, we move into white crane, flashes wings, and another mindful breath in the open and the close. Brush knee to the left where we center on the right foot, holding the baby, looking to 9, opening up the left leg, a little step out with the left toes pointing to 9 for brush knee and follow step. Moving into move number 11, playing the lute. We transfer the weight back, picking up the left toes. They touch as the hands come on the narrow to begin 12, which is intercept, deflect down, parry, and punch. So here as we step, floating the foot down, we're parrying the left hand directly towards 9. Now stepping into the left bow stance. 2 fist form, punching over the left forearm, completes move 12. Number 13 is appearing to block and close, which flows right into 14, push the mountain, where our follow step brings the right heel in line with the left, so we can pivot back to face 12. For a conscious breath in, letting the hands open, breathing out, the hands close. Brush knee to the right, centering on the left foot, holding the baby, opening up the right leg. We step down, facing 3 now in a right bow stance, with a good follow step leading us into leisurely Tai Chi to the right. We shift the weight back, bringing in the limbs at the same time, stepping lightly towards 3. As the right hand rises, the left hand supports it. Stepping back, the toes of the right foot rise. We only turn the waist as far as we can hold a good alignment, and then we come back to face 3, stepping with the right foot to conclude leisurely Tai Chi, where the left heel aligns us with the right toes, turning back to face 12, and another mindful breath in our open and close. Now single whip back to the left, floating the foot down, we feel it flat, opening the palms, we transfer the weight, uprooting push to 12, turning the waist, opens just the right hand, and then draws it in along with the right foot turning in. We reverse the flow, pivoting on an empty left foot to step into right fist under left elbow as we face 9 o'clock. Moving into our no-name transition, holding a baby on the right hip, now looking to 6, stepping directly towards 6 for repulse monkey to the left. Transferring the weight to the right foot, the left toes turn in, holding the baby on the left hip, looking to 12. Bringing out the right foot in a right bow stance, pointing directly to 12 and repulse monkey right. Moving into brush knee to the left, move number 25, where we're looking towards 9 or left, stepping towards 9 and brush knee with follow step. Move number 26 is leisurely Tai Chi to the left, where the right foot goes back as the left hand rises. The hands come into our center line, right on the belly, coming up to the center of the body at the chest as we step to 9 and step into the chop. Stepping back, raising the left toes, turning the waist, brings the left hand around, only as far as we can hold alignment, stepping towards 9 to end leisurely Tai Chi, where the right heel adjusts. We pivot the left toes in to face 12. Now here's today's lesson. Move number 27 is to breathe in and allow the hands to open. Move number 28 is to breathe in and allow the hands to close. And from there, we're just going to lower the hands and talk about what this means. The biomechanics of healthy breathing. One of the beautiful distinctions that set Sun style Tai Chi apart from any other style of Tai Chi that I have ever studied in my 30-year career is this emphasis on the breath. In fact, so much emphasis on the breath, breathe in and then breathe out, which is one breath that we consider it, is not just one number. No, it's 2 numbers. Number 27 is to breathe in and let the hands open. Number 28 is to breathe out and let the hands close when we do. When we have a healthy breath, this happens naturally. Unfortunately, most of us in a stress-filled world have a less than ideal breath, what's called in medical terms a suboptimal breathing pattern. So today we review the basics of what is a healthy way to breathe in the body. There are 3 basic phases of a healthy breath. The first one is what we talk about a lot in QiGong and Tai Chi, which is the belly breath. So here, if I place my thumb in my navel and just let the palm drop here below the navel, this area we call the lower dantian. We would consider this phase 1 in a healthy biomechanical breath, where the diaphragm pushes down on the inhale, and that makes the belly expand when we're relaxed. And then when we breathe out, the diaphragm comes back in, and that brings the belly back in towards the spine. This is phase one in a healthy biomechanical breath. But a lot of us are not breathing from this first stage of a healthy breath. We're breathing up here in the chest, where when we inhale, it's our chest that's rising and our shoulders rising a lot. And then when we breathe out, our chest and our shoulders come back down. This again is a suboptimal breathing pattern. We know that we have this diaphragm muscle that attaches to the base of the ribs all the way through the center of the body. We have other respiratory muscles too, but this is the big one. And when we are relaxed and we are breathing in fully, the diaphragm muscle, it must go down in order to suck air in like a vacuum. If we are tense in the belly, if we are filled with stress and anxiety and hold tension in the belly, it won't expand when the diaphragm muscle moves down. That means all the organs are down here, and they won't allow the diaphragm to come down to fill the lowest parts of the lungs here at the base of the rib cage. So when we are relaxed, ideally in phase one of a healthy breath, on the inhale, the belly expands out a little. And on the exhale, the belly comes back in. With the hands on the belly, we can feel if that's happening or not. And it's okay if it's not. The majority of Americans are caught up in stress breathing. That's why we're covering this. And why I love Sun style Tai Chi with its emphasis on breathing. So that's phase one in the anatomy of a healthy breath. In order to take a full healthy breath, the diaphragm must go down, the belly must come out. Otherwise, the organs make it so that not as much air can come into the bottom of the lungs. The second phase of a healthy biomechanical breath is that this diaphragm muscle attaching to the base of the rib cage, from a structural, functional point of view, when we inhale fully, as the diaphragm goes out, it flares out the rib cage a little at the bottom. It makes it expand a little from the bottom. So if we place our hands right on the base of the ribs, here at the rib cage, not on the fleshy, fatty, whatever you want to call it part, but up on the bony part here. It might be a little uncomfortable at first. Kind of wrapping the thumb around, relax the shoulders. We'll just notice as we breathe in and out a normal breath, if this part of the lungs expands a little when we breathe in or not. I'm going to show you as I'm quiet for a few breaths what I mean, and try to exaggerate phase number 2 of this healthy breath. You can see it. As I breathe in, the belly expands first, that's phase 1, and then the lower ribs expand, helping to draw more air into the lungs, and then the lower ribs come back in on the exhale. It's okay if you're not breathing like that, but understand that the ribs are a bony cage that are surrounding and encaging the sponge-like lungs. And if the ribs are not moving while we're breathing in and out, that means those soft, delicate, spongy lung tissues cannot expand as we breathe in. There are no muscles in the sponge-like lung. So if the lower rib cage is not expanding on the inhale, that means air is not reaching this part of the lungs because there's no more room. The cage of the ribs is keeping it closed in. So the first phase of a healthy breath is here at the belly, where it expands, allowing more air to come into the bottom of the lungs. And then the belly comes back. In the second phase, the cage of the ribs expands out as the diaphragm lowers. It pushes the rib cage out. And then it comes back in on the exhale because we have respiratory muscles within the rib cage, in between the ribs. It's not only the diaphragm, but there's 3 phases to a healthy biomechanical breath because our lungs are also up here at the top of the rib cage. So now I invite you to bring the tips of your fingers together as I try to not anger the mic, right on the breastbone, with the fingers pointing right at each other, and just relax the shoulders. When we're inhaling and we're relaxed and the rib cage is expanding, the fingers will come apart a little. And when we're breathing out and we're relaxed, the fingers will come back together. Because in a healthy biomechanical breath, the ribs expand a little on the inhale, allowing more air to fill the lungs. And then on the exhale, the hands come back in as the ribs come back in. And it's okay if your hands are not moving in this way as you breathe in and out. With awareness and attention to the breath, we create better breathing habits. A lot of people, instead of the hands moving apart at the chest, will breathe like this, where the chest is rising up and down when we breathe in and out. But when we breathe up into the chest, the belly cannot expand. The belly comes in. So ideally, first the belly expands, then the lower ribs expand, and then the upper ribs expand as we breathe in. And then when we breathe out, it all relaxes back into center. We can almost imagine that our lungs are like balloons, and when what is encasing those balloons is relaxed, as we fill the balloons, everything expands a little. And when we empty the balloons of our lungs, everything comes back into itself, just like a balloon emptying of air. With this information, I invite you now to place one hand on the belly, one hand on the center of your chest, and just relax and take a few breaths in and out of the nose. And just notice how you're breathing. As we continue to progress on in Soon 73 Tai Chi, there are many more opportunities to discuss the healthiest breath and why we're concerned about breathing in this way, in a healthy way as we go along. But for now, let this new information about the movement known as open hands and closed hands come into your practice in your form. Because we want our inhale so big and we want to be so aware of it that the whole body expands when we breathe in. The belly, the base of the ribs, and the upper ribs, and that means the arms are expanding. And then in move number 28, when we breathe out, we're so relaxed that the belly comes in, the base of the ribs come in, and the upper ribs come in too. So we have this new awareness in our form that with each open and close, it should not be the muscles of the shoulders that are doing most of the work to open the hands and bring them back in. It should be the full, relaxed, biomechanically correct breath that we are developing. Because when the belly expands, and then the lower ribs expand, and then the upper ribs expand, the arms themselves will naturally expand open a little with the fullness of that life-giving breath. And the arms will naturally come back in a little as we let go of that breath naturally, in and out of the nose. It bears repeating from the very beginning that each breath we take in Sun style Tai Chi should be taken from this position where the head is up in good posture. The teeth are held lightly together with the tip of the tongue on the roof of the mouth, so that the breath is consciously taken in and out of the nose, which is the healthiest way to breathe. If it is difficult to breathe through the nose, it is of course better to breathe through the mouth. But with a new level of understanding of awareness of the breath, we know that nasal breathing is the healthiest. So perhaps we'll discuss that in the next opportunity we have in Sun style Tai Chi, where the open and close comes into play. For now, with this new level of awareness, let's once again run through what we have, the first 28 movements of our form, in flow together here, as we enjoy a very calm Indian River Lagoon this afternoon. Find your space, get oriented. I won't be saying quite as much as we run through this rendition of our form together, of our flow together. But let's, as we settle in, say, tune in with good posture and notice your normal breathing before you begin. Tune in to the principle of Sung. Are you as relaxed as you can be, breathing in and out? Become aware of the good alignment of your spine, head up, nose, breastbone, and navel, all held in alignment together. Become aware of the flow of the breath in and out of the nose. These are the principles that we adhere to in any style of Tai Chi. And once we are connected to ourselves and our breath, we begin our flow from Wu Ji to Tai Chi, shifting our attention to 10:30, the right toes turn. Conscious of center weight before the hands float up in synchronized harmony together. We feel at ease touching the left foot down and giving it all of our weight as the right foot positions towards about 130 for our leisurely Tai coat. With space between hand and body, we step towards 3 o'clock and extend the hand a little more, positioning the left foot and then the right, and coming into a conscious full breath. Are you rushing it or allowing the body to expand on the inhale and come back on move 4, which is the exhale? Single whip left is move number 5. Pushing towards 12. Opening only as far as the center line alignment holds us before returning to 12 o'clock. And move 6, lifting hands. 7 is white crane flashes wings. Once again, we return to the awareness of the breath. Are you as relaxed as you can breathe, breathing into the belly, allowing the ribs to expand and fall back in? Move number 10 is brush knee left. Facing 9 o'clock, move number 11 is playing the lute. Move number 12 is intercept, deflect down, parry and punch. Are you as relaxed as you could be? This is the principle of Sung. Move number 13, appearing to block and close flows right into 14. Push the mountain, aligning the right heel. And then the left toes, coming into awareness of the full breath. In and move 15, opening hands. 16, the hands close. Brush knee to the right, facing 3 o'clock. Stepping to 3. Leisurely tie coat to the right. Are you holding good alignment here? Nose over breastbone, over navel, and not losing that connection as we turn the whole body. We face 3 again to close in the uprooting push, where once again we come back to the awareness of the breath in, expanding the body, and the breath out, allowing it to come back in at rest. Single whip back to the left. Left foot stepping a little back, but as it takes our weight, our uprooting pushes directly at 12. Are we holding good alignment as we turn in our flow, first to the right and then back to face 9 o'clock for right fist under left elbow. Repulse monkey to the left, facing 6 o'clock, stepping towards 6. We hold our good alignment as we turn, positioning into the left foot to step to 12 for repulse monkey to the right. And brush knee to the left. With the right toes facing 10:30, we step to 9. Brush knee leaves us right into leisurely tie coat to the left, facing 9 o'clock now. As the left hand and foot draw in and step lightly towards 9. Do we hold good alignment in our turn, not losing the nose, navel, and breastbone connection, stepping towards 9, adjusting the right foot, and then the left to take another conscious, life-giving breath in, letting the belly expand, the lower ribs, the upper ribs, all flowing back in on the exhale. From here, we'll close our form, letting the hands come down. Relax. Notice your normal breath now, in and out of the nose, for at least 3 breaths before moving. That's a good habit to get into now that we have this higher level understanding of the breath, which is embedded throughout Sun 73 Tai Chi. When we meet again in our next lesson, we'll be moving into single whip to the right and moving into a new move after that, wave hands like clouds to the right. I look forward to seeing you then.